All right, congratulations on taking action. Here is the plan for predictable success. And I really want to help you figure out how to grow your real estate business faster and get your time back. My name is Lars Hedenborg. I'm the founder of Real Estate B School, co-founder of High Performance Real Estate Advisors. Here's the question I have for you is, do I have a clear roadmap in place to build a profitable, systems-driven business so that I can experience true time and money freedom and live a life without regrets? For me, this is back in the early days, my first year in real estate. Our son Anders was born, and I was trying to figure out how it like being a dad worked. I was, new to marriage. So I was figuring out how to be a husband, and I was new to real estate. That first part year, I sold 27 homes. And so I was instantly working 7 days a week. Here is fast forward a year, and I'm working all the time, right? I don't know why my wife took pictures of me working, although I can appreciate it now. So I can kind of go through the brutal reality of what it's like to be a real estate agent and want to show up as a dad and want to show up as a husband. And I remember at the time, this is 2010, the year my real estate team did 118 transactions. I think I did about half of those transactions, working 7 days a week. And I remember thinking to myself, this has to work. It left a cozy corporate job to get into real estate. And I put it all on the line. And the reality was that it really wasn't perfect, but it was really intentional. And I knew exactly what I wanted from my real estate business. And that's what I want to share with you. Real Estate B School was only born out of the fact that it was really hard for me to do this. The year we did 248 transactions as a team, I did one transaction. That was in 2012. So I built this business to serve buyers and sellers at a high level without me having to be involved in every bit of it. Now, that's not everyone's desire to exit production and build a fully leveraged real estate business. The principles to do that hold true for any business-minded real estate agent or team leader, that it's just not working out the way that you thought it would. Like, you're working too many hours, the money's not what you thought it would look like, and you're stressed all the time. And so the mission of Real Estate B School is to help you scale your real estate business through the use of sustainable systems and empower people so you can make more money, enjoy more time off, and experience less stress in your life. So all of that to say, what are the top 3 reasons you want to build a sustainable real estate business? Give yourself a second to think about that. For me, I wanted to be a world-class dad, a world-class husband, and I wanted to have the time and money to enjoy life on my terms. Those were the big drivers for me. The game that we're playing, if you're gonna build this thing into any sort of sustainable business that it doesn't depend on you working evenings and weekends, this is the game that we're playing. And this is how we set up your business to take advantage of generating leads, having those conversations, setting consultations, meeting with buyers and sellers, signing them as clients, closing transactions, doing such a great job that they rave about your services. And then we sort of use that in the marketing. The challenge is that most real estate agents set this up where they're the only thing that's working in the business all day long. And there's no systems, and there's not even an assistant or any leverage at all on the buy side. So they're working every evening and every weekend. And it's simply not sustainable if you want to show up at a high level in other areas of your life that matter. So the question for you is, how scalable is your real estate business right now? The way you have set up your real estate business right now, how scalable is it? Can you go from 2 to 4 to 8 to 10 to 12 transactions a month? Or if you're already at 8 to 10 transactions, can you go to 20 or 30 transactions a month and not put in more hours to do it? So here is a framework we call the Business Freedom Blueprint. So we know the goal is more money, more time, less stress. The focus is to build sustainable systems and to empower team members, even if your vision for this thing is only one administrator and a couple buyer agents, and you want to do 100, 150 deals a year, but you only want to work 40 hours a week. Or if you want to build a massive business, a $3 to $5 million business, the principles are the same. There's 4 drivers that we have to tend to. Number 1 is to attract buyers and sellers to you, not pay for leads, right? We don't want to pay Zillow a 35% referral fee. We want to be able to attract high quality buyers and sellers and do that systematically. Then the second driver is to convert those leads into consultations and then into clients, and to have a system to do that. Then we want to deliver on the promises we make in sales and help buyers get into a property, their dream property, or help a seller get their property sold. And then we talk about scaling the business, which is growing the business beyond just yourself. So when it comes to attract, there are 3 accelerators you have to focus on: database marketing, listing marketing, and buyer marketing. And there's tools and systems associated with each of those accelerators. So think about your business. How strong is your database marketing system? How strong is your listing marketing system? How strong is your buyer marketing system? When it comes to convert, it's all about lead management, appointment setting, and the consultation process. So maybe you can sit down with a buyer or seller and convert them at a high level. Or maybe you can set appointments easily, but have you put the system in place so that that system can run independent of you if it needs to? That's the way we get freedom from the business. Then for the deliver driver, it's all about buyer and seller client servicing, transaction coordination, and the critical technology tools that you put in place to run the operations of the business. And so when you look at deliver, are you the only one that's able to deliver on the promises you make in sales? So are you showing every home to every buyer? Are you the one that's taking photographs and inputting listings into the MLS, right? You got to focus on the activities you do, and that translates into the money you're going to make in the business. And I'll get into that in here in a second with the Business Freedom Index. Then we talk about scale. It's to create your future, to know your numbers, and grow your team. Create your future. Do you have a plan in place that you're working to, a 3-year vision or 1-year plan? Are you tracking the leading and lagging indicators in the business? And do you know how to attract true talent into your world and how to hire them and onboard them, and the cadence and culture that goes along with it? And that's what Real Estate B-School helps folks do. And this is the blueprint we use to be able to do it. And when you look at the business that you have right now, how strong are you in each of these drivers, the 4 drivers and the 12 accelerators? And just kind of go through it, scale 1 to 5, 1 really weak, 5 really strong. This is the roadmap we use to help our members succeed at a high level. So the question is, how do we get there? It's a question of time and money, and the trade we're all making, right? We're all trading time for money. This tool, this framework is called the Business Freedom Index. This allows you to gauge your efforts in terms of the time you put into the business for the financial reward you're able to take out. So this is an equation, and I want you to go through this calculation. The Business Freedom Index is simply the total profit before taxes and your compensation divided by the total hours that you work. If you have a spouse working in the business, it's the total family income, post expenses, but pre-tax, divided by the total hours that the both of you work. And so let's say you made $300,000 last year, sort of pre-tax profit, and you worked 60 hours a week or 3,000 hours a year. Your Business Freedom Index is $100 per hour. Let's hold that right there for a second. And I want to go through what I call the Business Growth Navigator. And then I want to put the 2 together. So think about your income and the hours you work. And now I want to go through the different phases of growth that we see. There are 6 distinct phases of growth that we see with real estate agents that want to sort of build a business beyond themselves. Number 1 is survival mode. This is where the industry lives. Very few real estate agents sell more than 2 homes per month or 24 homes per year. It's about 98% of agents sell less than 24 homes per year. So that's just survival mode. You're not making enough money to really build a meaningful business. The ramp phase is where you're doing it all. This is where you can sell 2 to 6 homes per month, or roughly 200 or so, 250 to about 600, 750 or so GCI, where you're doing it all. The time is your enemy. You don't have enough time. If you're not focusing on the systems, you're not going to get to the next level, which is what we call the scale phase, where you're building the foundation to be able to build this thing to run without you. That's 6 to 12 transactions per month, or roughly 600,000 to 1.4 million or so in GCI for the team. And then we talk about making that shift to leading and empowering others. And then ultimately, if you want to exit production, that's where you get really true freedom of time. And then we talk about potentially being just an owner in the business, which is the position I took about 7 years ago. It doesn't matter where you want to end up on this journey. There's a way to make life easier for yourself and to increase the amount of money you make and the Business Freedom Index, which is what we're going to go through here. This is the Business Freedom Index in action. So if you look at those different phases of growth, our industry lives in the $0 to $25 an hour range. Very few real estate agents are making more than $50,000, and they're working probably 2,500 hours. Do the math, it's $20 an hour. That's kind of where our industry lives. So as you grow the business, what we've seen, if you build it the right way, you're able to go from, 25 to 50 to 100 to $250 an hour. I left my corporate job where I made about 200 grand working 2,000 hours. I was making about $100 an hour. I knew if I got into real estate, I did this calculation early on in my journey. And I decided I was going to make $250 an hour. I wanted to make $500,000 a year, and I wanted to work 2,000 hours doing it. Simple math is $250 an hour. Took me about 5 years to get there. And then I decided, well, that was cool. Let's go to $500 an hour. Took me about 5 years to get there. And then I decided, let's go to $1,000 an hour. And then I'm working on that right now. I'll get pretty close this year. So the thing I want to share with you is that the industry lives in this overwork, underpaid, you don't know what you don't know. Those that make it to this ramp phase, they could be making $25 to $50 an hour, which is not bad money, but you're likely working way too much to get there, and time is not your own. In the scale phase, you can make up to $100 an hour. Money's decent. Again, time, you don't even know what that is. Free time, it's non-existent. Systems are the key to progressing further in this ascension. When we talk about leading, this is where leverage is kicking in and things are going generally well. That's where $250 an hour is possible. If you exit production, the crazy thing is you have the chance to go from $250 an hour to $500 an hour and beyond. This is where leaders are stepping up in your business. A key administrator takes over the operations. Your lead agent is probably taking over sales, and they're taking over the day-to-day. And then we talk about owning the business, where you can drop your hours significantly and you can make $1,000+ per hour in the business. So when it comes to Real Estate B School, we are set up in a way where we can help folks that are in the I do it stage, where you're just figuring out how to get busy. Then it's we do it. You're bringing people alongside you, an administrator, a showing agent, maybe a few buyer agents. And then you can make that shift to they do it when you scale the business enough where there's margin in the business where others can do the entire job of helping buyers and sellers. So you landed on this page for a reason. The next step is to apply for just a conversation with us. It's called our Business Growth Strategy Session. This really is the first step to scaling your real estate business and achieving true time and money freedom. And Real Estate B School is for business-minded real estate agents and team leaders. And if the time, money, stress equation is not working out for you, you've got to do something different. This is Thomas Jefferson, who tells us, if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. And again, the mission is to help you scale your business. 2 ingredients: sustainable systems that empower people so that you can make more money, enjoy more time off, and experience less stress in your life. And the goal of the Business Growth Strategy Session is to arm you with a clear plan to profitably and predictably scale your business. There is no gimmicks or hype when it comes to this conversation. 3 things we'll cover on the call. First thing is, where are you now? The good, bad, and ugly of what it's like to show up in your business today. Second part of that strategy session is, where are you going 3 short years from now? Where do you want your business to be? What do you want it to look like? The money you're making, the hours you're working, the stress you're enduring. And then number 3, what's holding you back? As you look at where you are today and where you want to go in the future, what is getting in your way? What are some of the obstacles that you're seeing? So take action. These are some high-level principles that we teach at Real Estate B School. The next step is for you to take action. Take that first step. Fill out the brief application that's on this page. It's just a button that says get started, or click here to apply, and we'll see you on the other side.